One. Hey, look, Dave, we're on camera.
Woo!
Yes, yes.
Not the disembodied voice in the ether.
No, this is the actual main two for the Mystery Wrestling Theater 3000. I'm Rich, the man with the anime shirt on. That's Dave.
Indeed, otaku for life.
Yes, it's kawaii. Anyways,
Kawaii.
eh,
Hey, you
fun.
started it. Sir.
Yeah, I did. So, folks, this is the Mystery Wrestling Theater 3000 crew. We'll get back to our audio recordings sometime. We don't know when. Probably when I get the network again, when I get everything settled with my financials. But hey, that's good. We're gonna do something a little different because this is being recorded over Skype, like the Mystery Wrestling Theater 3000. It's being recorded over Super 1010, much like Mystery Wrestling Theater 3000. In fact, Dave, do we just call this the Mystery Wrestling Theater 3000 Camera Edition?
Assuming we actually do more than one of them, it's the official spin-off show.
Yes, it is. This is the Faces Made for
So,
Radio.
Mystery Wrestling Theater.
Yep, our faces are made for radio, and anyone who disagrees, yeah, there we go.
Or feel free to call your local psychiatrist and get some refill on your prescriptions.
Remember, kids,
You may be hallucinating. I do not look like George Clooney.
no. And in fact, like Pilsy used to say, hearts, shrooms, quaaludes, and ludes, like a bread basket of contraband all in my head.
Turns out the government has very good HMO plans for squirrels with fictional diseases.
Yes, they do, Franklin. All right, folks. This is different than the norm. Normally, we're tossing the shit out of your average ECW, WCW, WWE pay-per-view. However, we're going to do something a little different, and it's something Dave and I had discussed doing within the Orion overtimes, and then we're like, you know what, we've got the cameras, the medium of camera, so now that you can see our ugly mugs and you can see our expressions and everything, we're going to call this one the Rasslin Sins Edition.
Woo!
We got four sins to cover. That's right.
4 times, 4 times, 4 times, 4 times.
That's right. And if Booker T were around, he'd be proud of our counting abilities. So, what is a... No, we can't. So what is a wrestling sin? It's that one thing you see in every generation of wrestling. You see it and it annoys the piss out of you. It's like, why the hell are you doing this? Why? What? And then you just start shouting at your TV, God damn it, Vince! Dixie! You don't know who to shout at if you're watching an ROH show. I don't...
Sinclair Broadcasting?
Well, yeah. And then if you're watching any of the NWA shows, good fucking luck. I don't know who you... No.
It's probably the same guy selling the hot dogs.
No. Damn you, Bruce Tharp. Yeah, Bruce Tharp, which... He'll be on another episode of the Mystery Wrestling Theater 3000 Wrestling Sins. Tharp's got his own episode.
Damn you for retiring, Cornette.
Yeah. Tharp's got his own episode.
Even if his shit was still dusted off from the 80s.
Yeah.
At least he could contract good talent.
Tharp, on the other hand, Dave and I have watched enough of the New Japan shows from 2014 to realize that Bruce Tharp Des is kind of embarrassing, and we'll tell you why. Much later. Dave, I think
Uh,
he wanted to start off with the first sin that you've seen all the time in wrestling.
yeah, the first sin, something that is one of the most infamous cycles within the wrestling business. The wrestling promoters love cycles. The business is a cycle. It's just down because it's always down this time of year. I'm not a bad booker.
Yes, you
It,
are.
it's it's down because it's football season. It's down because the NBA playoffs preempt Nitro. No, it's down because you ass fucks are ass fucks. But specifically this one, it's a promoting philosophy that goes in a circle concerning wrestlers who happen to possess two circles and a line
Oh,
about a foot below. Yes, we are talking about female performers. Whether you call them divas, whether you call them knockouts, whether you call them gorgeous ladies of wrestling.
I liked that show, by the way.
Only if you appreciate that they did it intending to be camp.
Oh yeah.
But, point being, whether your belt was called the Ladies' Championship or the Women's Championship,
Or the Divas Championship.
or the KO
Knockouts.
title, we're not going to rant about the Knockouts Tag Team title because that
That was a sham.
is going to require a 2-hour edition and is mostly because it'll segue into a fuck Brooke Hogan rant.
Oh, and on top of that, let's not forget Shimmer, Glory, and various other women like Our.
Wow, WOW.
Do I have to admit that I secretly still hold a candle for Ayako Hamada?
Well, since you just admitted it, yes, I guess you do have to.
Okay.
Wait, what was the other one? FIP.
Yeah, FIP, Florida Impact Pro. You're right.
FIP did a lot of. Didn't they do like talent trading with Shimmer or something like that?
With Shimmer and between ROH.
Well, Shimmer was spun off from ROH anyway.
Yeah, Shimmer, it's still in business, which I guess we can both admit to our other woman crush, Miss Sarah Del Rey.
Only because Nora retired and is, unlike Terry Funk, meant it.
Right.
And then she got married. Oh, sad penguin face.
Yep. So.
Thank God for Google Images. I can always remember the old photo shoots. Nice. Which is a segue back to my original point. And that is that when it concerns women in wrestling, that even at the best of times, promoters have been unable to accept that you can have females wrestling and that they are employed because they are good wrestlers. Nora was an excellent wrestler. She part-timed as a damn trainer for a lot of the other divas, including, most infamously, teaching Victoria the Widow's Peak.
Ooh.
Hey, Victoria did a good job of hitting that move once she, did it in the ring a few times live.
I know, but that move is just nasty.
Dude, what do you expect? It's a variant of the Gory Special.
Into a neck breaker.
Gory Bomb, but...
Gory Bomb neck breaker.
Yeah, Gory Bomb. Instead of letting go as early as you do.
She just springs the neck off her shoulder. You go flying.
That's what I'm saying. Its origin was where somebody looked at the Gory Bomb and was like, I think there's a different way to do this where people break their nose less.
Right, but yeah. So we've got you got serious women wrestlers. I mean that we just named it. Hamada, Sarah Del Rey, yes, Molly, Victoria,
Yeah, I mean, even in the modern times, I mean, granted, she's out right now because some lucky bastard knocked her up. But Mickey James, for
And
all
it,
the fun we had with her character, because she was great at selling her any variant of her character. Mickey is a serious wrestler. She came up through the Indies, spent some time in TNA with everyone's favorite Chicago native.
yeah. And we know. But
But
you've got like you said, we've got serious women wrestlers.
and
But
even as serious as they are, Vince has to make his side money off. What's the old
divas.
line Cole uses? Smart, powerful, and beautiful. Ah, I just created my jeans. But
Back yeah, and folks, that's the buzzword from for this generation, because the old term back in the day was from Jerry Lawler. Oh my God, HLA!
puppies. So to be fair, Road Dogg was the first one to use that on air to refer to the chesticles.
Yeah, but I don't fault Brian James for that
He
much
did
either.
it as a damn one-off joke. Lawler was the one that made it into a meme.
Face. Ah, ah.
The core point, and going back to the cycle of it, was even in its short time having an official knockouts division, even TNA has fallen into the trap WWE does of, oh, I've lost the two or three really serious women wrestlers I had on staff. I'll just hire a bunch of models and teach them the bare minimum so that they can wrestle in the ring without killing themselves. You know, it's like for every Paige and AJ Lee we have in the Divas division, we have the Bellas! Summer Rae! I'm kind
Cameron.
of iffy on Alicia because she doesn't do anything well,
Yeah,
including stand there and look pretty.
Cameron. What was
Cameron and Naomi,
Naomi? Eva
the
Marie.
oh god, I'm trying not to think about Eva Marie because you said this can only take a half hour,
Right,
and we have
but
other topics to go.
right. But one serious wrestler, five, six sluts.
Yeah, because I mean,
Layla.
right now we got the core of Paige, AJ, Natalia.
So three serious wrestlers,
Yeah.
two, six sluts.
50-50 on Emma because when they do let her wrestle, I mean, she is a damn good wrestler, but her character
NXT.
is just so hard to ignore.
When they let her loose in NXT, yeah,
Oh, that's right. That one was
yeah.
yeah. Man, that was the. I'm sorry. Apparently, I was trying to have Emma do the Daniel Bryan yes chance.
Oh,
Probably
she
because
has done them. She has done that.
dude, everybody's done that. Friggin' Big Show tried to hijack that shit.
Even though Big Show had fun with it, I mean, Daniel Bryan wasn't.
Oh, he knew it was. He knew it wasn't gonna work. He was. Besides, you knew he probably sat there and looked at Daniel. Was like, yes, I'm gonna swipe this shit from you, but I'll buy you dinner next 3 times we go to Waffle House.
Which, by the way, Big Show does eat a lot. Not as much as he used to, though. But anyhow, yeah. So three
but
serious wrestlers.
But even when you have a mix of serious, like you'll have the
Six sluts.
you know you look back in the day to the Fit Finley led Glory era, not area, ERA, blue, time not geography.
He speaks
Um,
gooder than everyone else, folks.
yep. But even during the Fit Finley golden times, when you had Lita, Molly, Victoria, Jacqueline, Ivory,
And the one slut they had on the
Jazz.
roster.
I knew there was no one up there.
Yeah,
And
when they had the one slut, that was Terry. She could
what?
actually
Yeah, but Terry knew enough to stay out of the damn ring.
Right.
No, they had the one slut who got put in the Hall of Fame because Vince pushed her big titties so damn hard for like 7 years. But even during the best eras, once the serious ones left because they needed time to heal or just got burned out on the industry or didn't like the idea of only showing up on TV once every 3 months to lose a squash match to the flavor of the month, we started getting things like
The Bellas.
Tori Wilson wrestling.
Stacy Keebler.
Stacey, we love you. We wish you would dance on top of the commentary tables every night, but don't ever be in the ring between the bells, please.
No, no.
Now, if you want to be there between the bellas, that's fine. I will gladly dine on that sandwich, but not when I'm watching my wrestling. There's a time and a place for everything. Don't put things in a blender just because you don't feel like chewing two different meals.
So yes, so we go from
Oh, wait, let's
Fabulous
not
Moolah,
forget Jackie Gata and Candice Michelle.
Carmella,
She didn't last long enough. Jackie, she bounced back and forth for a good 2 years.
Ashley Massaro.
I think if she had stuck it out longer, she would have gotten up to an acceptable level. Because you look at her first match and you look at her last match, she was improving. I think if they had had NXT back then and had sent her down there for a year, she would have been a lot better off.
Probably.
Give her to Sarah Del Rey. That would have saved everybody.
But yeah, so them's the breaks, folks.
Yes.
So you go from serious wrestling, Moolah and Mae Young,
To
to tough old broads that I wouldn't fuck with.
shit,
Then
won't fuck with them.
the Dudleys wouldn't screw with them.
Yeah, not unless they got slapped and told quit being a girl.
Pretty much. So
You think May actually said Ranger up?
I wonder.
Would explain the table orgasm Bubba had afterwards.
Probably.
I'm a Ranger. I eat baby hearts.
They're nutritious.
Protein!
28, 2,800,000 grams of protein. Alright, so, now that everyone at home is disgusted, let's go to sin number 2 now that everyone's disgusted. Baby hearts. Yes, eat a bowl of them nightly, folks. That'll get you through the day. Let's go to sin number 2.
So wait, the baby hearts was the disgusting line, not having an orgasm after playing with Mae Young in a table. That was fine.
Orgasms are perfectly normal and natural, and everyone should have one. That might cure the Republican Party of their stupidity. Baby hearts, though.
Well, at least they're chewy.
All right. Number 2 sin. Hey, why'd the lights go out? Huh? What's that? That's Psycho Sid. What's he doing here in ECW?
Don't worry, he won't be here next week.
It's Jake the Snake Roberts. He just DDT'd Tommy Dreamer.
Don't worry, he won't remember it tomorrow morning.
Or, oh my God, it's Edge. He won't remember it either. He's yeah. Or Chris Jericho has reappeared in the WWE. He'll be back on tour in 4 months. Is anyone else pissed off at the surprise in wrestling? The surprise!
Yeah. The Jericho, now that he's fallen into the cycle. Yes, when the first couple times he came back where he had the mystery promos, and I mean he stuck around for like a year at a time, and actually hell, that first comeback with the computer program, that was like what, another 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that one was fine, but yeah, the last one he had where he just shows up to Raw without any kind of vignette build up, and it's just like, hey, let's pretend the last year and a half didn't happen and I never left.
Okay.
Yeah, that or the one I like, which is, you get this a lot in TNA, because I ran out of time to shit on the way that they do the same cycle booking with the knockouts, but yeah, TNA, where it's like, oh my God, this person's running down the ring and they hit him with a steel chair. No one ever thought that would happen.
China
and then
doll.
next week,
China doll.
That was just bad booking in general. That's more TNA's problem of hiring big name WWE talent on handshake big length contracts.
She does fall in within the first and second sin, so China's a double sinner.
No, because China's not a woman. Even post surgery, nobody's sure what gender that thing is.
Oh God! All right.
Even Larry Flint is going, look, I've got her on camera getting pounded, and I'm not sure. On the other hand, I'm Larry Flint, so I'm still going to fap to it. But yeah,
to our LGBT friends,
we're not making fun of you. We're making fun of the wildebeest that paid thousands upon thousands of dollars for plastic surgery and still didn't make any real improvements.
Oh yeah. Which the surprise. Everyone always has to have a surprise. Like we commented, Jim Cornette. Paul, what are you doing? I need a surprise. Why? They always expect a surprise.
But if they're expecting the surprise, then it's not a surprise.
But we need a surprise.
And again, TNA loves doing that crap too. It's like, oh my God, surprise heel turn. Great. Does that mean this guy's getting a push? No, they're not going to show up back for another 2 months.
What the fuck?
And then when they show up, they'll probably be face again. Then why did you do it? Because we wanted to have a surprise to end the match.
Or Brodus Clay, the surprise. Brodus Clay's gonna come back as this big bad monster heel.
Yeah,
Somebody call my mama. Somebody call my mama.
Be honest, at least on that one,
I'll admit I marked it.
He didn't so much produce a lot of vignettes saying Brodus Clay was coming back as a monster as the IWC assumed when they said Clay was about to get a big push that he'd be a monster heel, because that's what he had been doing in developmental. And as you yourself were demonstrating, shit, that character was memorable, and it probably extended his shelf life on the main roster by 3 times its length than if he'd been a bland monster heel.
Exactly.
Look at Rusev and how quickly we're sick of him now.
Rusev Crush.
As I said, look, if it weren't for Big Show, even if it was post-match, knocking him out and showing, holy crap, we might have story progression for this character, and Lana finally getting physically involved to sell how dangerous Big Show is, I would have no use to talk about him anymore.
You want to know the
Rusev, not Big Show. Big Show's still amusing because
he is big. Paul White's amusing, and also Rusev had to use English.
Oh no, I thought that was a good touch, especially if they play it up and
Rusev speak English.
Yeah, and have play it up like Lana's been teaching him English kind of thing,
Folks, we don't know if that's going to be a sin or not yet. That jury's still out on that one because,
Yeah.
I mean, why would the monster heel that was foreign speak English suddenly? We're going to give that 3
They
months.
can make it work because again, think about how long he's been in the country since the Royal Rumble. Come on, a good 10 months. He's had time to learn at least English.
Which, for people that don't believe, anyone from a foreign country can't learn English. Hideo Itami. Yes, we know he was Kenta. Let's use his name. Let's have some respect for Kenta Kobayashi. Let him. He chose the name. Let him use it. So Hideo Itami, he's not the greatest at English, but he's trying.
He's already farther along than Yoshitatsu ever got.
Pretty much. But yeah. But the surprise, like DX showing up for no reason. We just wanted to have a DX reunion.
Wait, which time? There's been about 12 of them.
The last time they showed up, and then.
You mean when they laid out Damian Sandow?
Yeah, pretty much. And then they turned corporate, and then they get killed by the Shield. It's.
Well, that was only the Outlaws. Sean hinted when he didn't feel sorry for screwing Daniel Bryan, but X-Pac never showed up to make a judgment call. Sean never fully embraced it. He just kind of showed up on Raw and went, fuck you, Daniel. I never liked you, and left. So
and the rest of the wrestling fans are like, well, you're a dickhead too, Sean. So we kind of figured. Which people are like that. Well, does that mean that Sean was a part of the sin of the surprise? Yes, he was.
Sean usually is because again.
But Sean's his own sin.
Taker retired him. Has any of his returns gotten more than 24 hours announcement?
No.
It's like, fuck it. It's been 3 months. We're gonna have Sean show up and cut a promo.
Come on, Sean. Come on, Sean. We really need to.
And Sean, don't do the HB Shizzle thing because it was awkward and vanilla ice whitey of you the first time. Now it's just embarrassing.
So, let's do some shorty sins. 2 sins that we won't spend so much time with because, 1, we want to keep this below an hour, and 2, these sins are just the little things that just piss us off.
Pointless stable forming.
Yes.
Okay, I get that not everybody can be a main eventer. On the other hand, when you turn somebody heel so they can team up with somebody else and their existing running buddies, give this group a big name,
and then just
they're all still jobbing. The only improvement in their career is at least they're showing up on Raw consistently.
Or don't forget
the Real Americans, 3MB,
EV 2.0.
Yeah.
There was no point to
we're saving TNA leeching the ECW legacy. That's an entire 30-minute rant.
That is, but that is a part of the sin, though. That is a sin on its own.
Well, to be fair, everybody in EV 2.0, with the exception of Kendrick's little honorary status there, that's what they should have been doing because they were veterans that should be putting over the young talent. But when you've got young talent being put into stables just so you can condense your jobbers into one group so creative doesn't have to use a second page of notebook paper to keep track.
Or on top of that, Damian Mizdow, that annoys the piss out of me.
As an extension of his random impersonations heel thing, I accept it. A long shot, they can still salvage the gimmick by like having Damian turn on Miz and insist he's the real Miz. Just have Damien go a total psycho snap route.
You mean
That
like,
would actually be amusing because Miz is the only person he could feud with where Damien would get face pops.
you mean like a single white female?
Yeah,
Ooh, movie reference. A single white male.
pretty much.
My name is Damien Mizdow, and I'm the only real Miz around here.
No, just for first time, I will be called Miz for short. Wait, don't we already have a Miz? Yes, you have me. I am Miz. Not the Miz, just Miz.
Yeah,
That way you can have Miz versus the Miz, like Sin Cara Blue versus Sin Cara Black. Because I'm
Yep.
sorry, I live in Georgia. I don't care how I pronounce it. It's awkward to say the Spanish word for black for me. I'm covering my bases.
yes, we don't want the NAACP and Al and Jesse coming around protesting.
Hell, we know Jesse Jackson can find Raw.
Anyhow, yeah,
Even the Reverend likes a white bunny.
exactly. And on top of that, let's not
Jay
forget. Let's not forget R. Ziggler.
Only because that was a short run thing, and Dolph admitted they were doing it to mock Damien Mizdow. With the
Right.
context, R. Ziggler worked. Just
Yeah.
for JBL's commentary, I can't tell which one's in the ring. They look exactly alike. They were heckling their heel opponents, so it worked.
That
Kind of
one
like CBL, which will live forever as awesome.
And for anyone at home that's keeping score, yes, JBL died laughing at CBL. In fact, JBL
Through the squash matches.
had to, whenever Charlie Haas came out, turn around and hide his head in the corner.
Exactly. He could barely wrestle with the guy because during the match, Charlie kept doing the mannerisms. And MamaJoanna.com.
Mama Joanna, Mama Joanna.
What? Marijuana? No. That's RVD. Don't take his shtick. He'll get mad. Yeah, being a mad RVD's pretty mellow.
Which leads to the next sin. Drugs and wrestling.
In character or out of character? Because
Yes.
look, it's hard being on the road. I'm not going to judge anybody that I'm gonna call them dumbasses for failing the piss test. But I can understand how a weak soul can give into temptation with that kind of job.
But still.
If you pull an Evan Bourne,
Right.
that's a whole nother level. I failed my piss test. I was suspended for 30 days. Second day after his suspension's lifted, I failed my piss test.
No.
You're not auditioning for the remake of Groundhog Day, dumbass.
No, you want to know who else is doing Groundhog Day? He would do it all the time in the WWE. Mr. Jeffrey Nero Hardy.
No, he's not so much doing Groundhog Day as he's doing Jeff Jarrett-esque ship jumping. Until Vince finally said, Jesus, Jeff, can you even spell rehab?
Jeff.
Yeah,
and
but I'm
Matt
going to
both.
spell it with a 4 because I'm hip and trendy, man.
Yep.
Get to Orlando, you asshat.
Go to fucking TNA. Do not collect $200. Do not pass go. Just. Yeah. Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
The one man that everyone's like, Randy Orton's been caught with marijuana 3 times. Yes, but I think Hunter kind of pulled him to the side and said, "You don't get a 4th one.
Yeah.
You don't get a 4th one.
Gym bags.
Just
Damn it.
Just keep it to shitting in gym bags, Randy. I can handle shitting in gym bags. I can't handle you pulling out a hot piss test. Because
Yeah.
how am I going to explain to Dad that you're peeing hot again?
Just don't tell him. Yeah, that doesn't work.
That doesn't work. He eventually finds out. Which, by the way, Vince McMahon eventually does find out stuff. Like the fact that Jeff Hardy can't pass a drug test to save his life. Oh, Vince, what'd you give me this F for, man?
It's not that it took a while for Vince to find out. It took a while for taking him off the road and cleaning him up enough where you would trust him in the ring. Pity TNA took 3 tries to figure that out.
Sting match.
Oh no, let's not forget the first time he went to TNA. And they
Oh,
fired him for completely no showing at the whole thing. He wasn't even in the same state.
or the
He was
same
in,
planet.
yeah, he was in his own state of mind. But
An altered state of mind.
yes, but yeah, no, it was more of Vince had to wait until the cycle became more costly than the brief periods of lucidity with which he could sell Jeff Hardy T-shirts.
Pretty much. And when even his most devoted fans realized that Jeff was more fucked up than an entire Cheech and Chong comedy collection. Oh,
Yeah,
and let's not forget Matthew Hardy.
never got as bad as Jeff, but yeah, I think Matt fell into that trap of, hey, I know he can't have his. Yeah, his was more. Yeah, Jeff's was more of I'm awake. Why am I sober? Matt's was I like to party. Matt
Ah!
was yeah. Matt was like Eddie Guerrero. He had a period where he didn't recognize when it was appropriate to cut loose.
Note to
Jeff is Jeff is like
24/7
Jake.
fucked up.
He of the shit. My whole wrestling peak, I wasn't sober.
Pretty
I,
much
imagine how much money I would have made
sober.
if I actually knew I was in the ring with Hogan when I was wrestling him.
And you want to know the amazing part too is
He was still that good a damn wrestler. He's right.
he was,
Oh,
but
I'm sorry.
funny. Yeah, he was. But if you people want a sobering lesson on drugs and wrestling, listen to Jake the Snake's Hall of Fame induction. And if you make it through without shedding a tear, you're doing something. Because Jake slaps you in the face when he tells you how bad he fucked up.
Yeah. Jeff, in a lot of ways, Jake's Hall of Fame speech was exactly what a Hall of Fame speech should be, and that is being honest about your career. Is yes, I had a lot of highs. Yes, I am willing to say that I am honored to have my peers consider me one of the best of my generation. On the other hand,
I fucked
don't
up.
emulate me. Don't you ever emulate me. We don't need any more Jakes the Snakes. And this is why. And then, if you're worried that you can't stop crying, just fast forward to Mr. T's Hall of Fame induction.
Yeah.
You will learn more about his mother than even he knows. And he's the one narrating.
But
I pity
yeah,
the fool that love his mama.
it's like we do love our mothers, Lawrence. But
Uh,
yeah,
on the
Jake.
other hand, do you know what you're in the building for? Okay, moving on to another sin. Another shorty, in theory. And that is, let me down for it. The tag team booking. Specifically the, oh crap, we haven't had a title change for like 8 months. We'll probably due.
Get out there,
Okay,
Wyatt.
tag team and get the belts on them within 6 weeks.
Usos, what are you doing? Nothing, Vince. You don't have any tag teams for us to face off against. What does that mean?
Well, no, it's not so much that, because really, if you think about it, there were full-time tag teams during the Usos' reign. It was more of, hey, we got the belts on a team that actually feels like a tag team. Day one. Okay, we don't need to promote tag team wrestling for a while. Damn it, Vince! But no, look at you. Go pull up your title history of the WWE tag titles, and it's like you start ticking off tag teams, and you're like, okay, Hart Dynasty, fine, they came in that way. Miz Show, Jericho, anybody Cena's won the tag belts with. It's okay. You can watch all of his tag title wins and defenses. It's only going to take you 20 minutes because he always dropped the belt within a week.
Edge and Benoit. Edge and Benoit.
Yeah, but, well, be fair. They were thrown together as a team, but that was at the start of the SmackDown 6 era. They stayed together for a while.
True. And let's not forget.
Like, shit. You never remember the sixth person there. Edge, Benoit, Chavo, Eddie, Ray.
Rod Malenko, he retired.
Yeah, he was a road agent by this point. Well,
I'm trying to remember who this.
Kurt.
Who? Kurt?
Kurt Angle. That's right, because the original 6, it was Kurt and Benoit, and it was Edge and Ray. But then towards the end, that era was ending. Yet Edge and Benoit started teaming as Kurt and Ray went singles again. And that was it. Okay, I feel better now. But yeah, the thrown together tag teams just to get the belts to change hands, because like the women's division, you won't care about the tag teams being serious money. That's why they don't make serious money for you.
And let's not forget Austin and Dude Love back in the Attitude Era that all of you beloved so much.
Hey, at least that one was amusing because you had Mankind wanted to team with Austin. Austin said no. Dude Love shows up video screen. I get you don't want to team with Mick. He's a square. But I know somebody that's hip enough to hang with you, Austin. At least they did attempt a couple weeks of build-up for that. But yeah, their team did not last long because Austin was better than Cena about we're just putting the tag belts on him because we need to pad his record, but not by much.
And people are like, well, why aren't you guys putting the Rock and Sock connection in there? Because that was an actual mentor-student pairing.
And that, again, they stayed tag teaming for an extended period, and their breakup was
hilarious.
Yeah, not just hilarious, but, pardon me, get stretch here. I cramp up from old age. But, well, no, even their breakup was part of the famous Rock Mankind World Title feud. You know?
So it led somewhere.
It wasn't they dropped the belts, let's quietly break the team up and never reference it again because they're both going back to jobbing on main event.
Nope, they were the main event.
Yeah. So no, that's why Rock and Sock were not a sin. There is no problem with two people who had formerly found success as singles wrestlers forming a new tag team.
And
As long as they are serious about tagging together and they work their way up the division, you see them as another tag team, not something creative's doing to swap the belts for a couple months.
also, folks, head cheese, as much as you want to laugh at them, are not a sin either. They're not.
You will never get an argument for me on that one.
People are like, how are head cheese not a thrown together team? Well, they were thrown together, but there was a mutual symbiosis.
And again, here is the key, folks. They were not thrown together because there was no other team to put the belts on at the time. They were thrown together because Steve needed a mentor to help him up his physical game and his charisma game.
And Al Snow is...
Al fits that dual mentor role perfectly, which is why he will always have a job as a trainer/road agent.
Even if it's with TNA, or he could just as easily go back to the WWE. Vince will not...
I guarantee you, if he showed up at Vince and was like, yeah, dude, I want to help train up your future world champions, Vince would be like,
all
right,
on down to Orlando.
Here's the MapQuest directions to Full Sail University. I'll go tell Bill DeMott to take the stick out of his ass and go home.
Yeah. Or he might keep Bill there. It's like, just tell Bill he just got bumped down.
Yeah. Tell Bill he's on toilet duty again.
Yeah. What we're trying to say is Al Snow is one of those guys, if you get teamed with him, it's not going to be so much a thrown together team, because Al was actually going to spend his time developing a personality for the team.
Yep. And he always knows where to call in a midget.
Yep. So
Cheese did have the midget mascot in the cheese costume.
So yeah, people are like, so head cheese is not a sin, right? Rock and sock is not a sin, right? Austin and Dude Love, that's kind of a sin. 50-50.
It's on the line, but Miz Show,
sin.
Or excuse me, Show Miz.
Show Miz, sin. Jericho, sin. Who else? The Colognes. Are we talking Carlito and his cousin? Sin. We talking Epico and Primo? Not so much.
Yeah. Well, no, it was Carlito and his brother, because it was Carlito and Primo.
It was Carlito and Primo. You're right. Yeah, that's a sin.
Yeah, Primo and Epico.
Not a sin.
Yeah. But only 50-50 because, damn it, somebody needed to, keep an eye on Carlito and tell him when to shut up for his own good.
What about Los Matadors? Not a sin, because that means Primo and Epico evolved into three-man.
They graduated and got a mascot.
Three-man band started as a sin.
Yes.
They started as a sin.
Jobber mentioned earlier.
Started as a sin, got more heat, pop. Then they got a mascot. So everything's all right. But now it's a one-man band yet again.
And their mascot is now the mascot for Slater Gator. The crocodile!
That's right. But yes, folks. Three-man band started as a sin. Then they came a bit of a full circle. Gelled together.
And again, that's part of why I mentioned them earlier in the stables that didn't need to be stables is even at the end when they finally started connecting with the fans, they still weren't allowed to win.
Nope.
So heaven forbid you go against booking plans.
So hence,
Stephanie.
they're only guilty of one sin. Stables thrown together for no reason, but not tag teams thrown together for one reason. They worked as a tag team, even if
True.
they lost. So they're only guilty of one sin. It's okay.
All right. Here's one for you. The big sin to finish us off.
All
The
right.
biggest sin in pro wrestling that refuses to die. Drum roll, please. Promoter nepotism.
Whoa!
Eric Watts.
Eric Bischoff.
Yeah, Eric and Garrett Bischoff. Vern and Greg Gagne. And granted, he came along to his own, but Dusty and Dustin Rhodes.
The Von Erichs.
Let's build the entire promotion around my boys. Yeah, that worked great, Fritz, until
Your boys just committed
realized
suicide.
that they were cops, that they were police proof.
Because when you hear Fritz Von Erichsen, or Fritz Von Erich talk, and he sounds like this all the time. Trust
Yes.
me, dude. Did you listen to that interview on World Class Championship Wrestling?
Dude, I have the WWE produced DVD, which has plenty of footage of Fritz speaking.
When he's talking to Ric Flair, it's another one. Ric
Woo!
Flair and David and Reed.
Not really, because remember, Rick was not on the booking committee at that time, and he actually tried to discourage David from getting in.
He did try to discourage Reed a little bit, which, God bless his soul. Rest in peace,
Yeah.
Reed.
Reed was, yeah. Reed, at least he had started as an amateur wrestler, and he was talented enough, and it wasn't because Rick was showing him his best trick. Rick admits that in his autobiography. No, it was Reed's coach. But
And then Ashley, who we know as Charlotte, the current NXT Women's Champion.
yeah, that one's not so much. Ashley, Reed got a shortcut because of Rick, and so did Ashley. That's more of the dynasty privilege than promoter nepotism.
Which we'll get to the Dynasty
It's-
privilege in
it's-
another episode.
Not like Flair is exactly on best terms with Vince right now.
Glug, 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 glug. I'm going to make a speech about... Oh, God damn it, Rick.
Everything but this damn video game.
Which poor Jim Ross got retired. Yes, everyone at home, put that in quotations, by the way. I don't give a shit. We know internet wrestling community. Ross got shafted. We're not going to argue about that. You know why? I don't got enough time.
At least you got to give it. At least Jim's happier
He
because
is.
now he can talk shit on the product like he wants to.
And we do recommend his podcast, by the way. It's a good one. But
Yes.
Let's get to the point.
But yes, promoter. Yes, even if, like Dustin, he eventually came into his own, Vince and Shane.
To an extent, Stephanie.
To an extent, Stephanie, but she never got the in-ring push Shane did. Remember, Shane was sitting there with the European title, for a brief period, the hardcore title.
Although we can't
Still
give
say
Shane...
that was an awesome SummerSlam match.
Although
Shane
we-
versus Blackman.
We can't give Shane
That's a
some
little
credit, though. I can give
He was
Shane
smart
some
enough
credit.
to leave.
Well, one, he was smart enough to leave, but two, when he was in the ring, though, he did try his best to produce a serviceable match.
Oh, as I said, like Dustin, Shane said, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to, work
Do
my
it right.
ass off to make it good. On the other hand, Shane was still in the ring with guys like Kurt Angle and getting in offense.
Yeah, and people are like, so what? So is Shane a part of the Dynasty sin? Half and half. Shane put
Yeah.
some work together, work forth. He kind of earned his stripes, so
Yeah.
I'm going to give him the 50-50. I'm going to give Stephanie the 50-50 because
I'll give Stephanie the 50-50, except during the McMahon-Helmsley regime,
then you just
a.k.a.
go full. She
first
went full
version.
retard.
Yeah.
That
But
was
she
full
was.
retard.
But remember, she'd only shown up on television like 8 months before that. She
Right.
was still getting used to the idea. So I'll give her credit for that. That was more of her father wanting to push her.
So yeah, Vince is guilty. 2 counts of promoter nepotism sin.
And Dynasty Sin.
Right.
It's just hilarious
Fritz.
given Vince Sr. didn't want Vince to be involved in the business.
Seems Senior knew his son well. Fritz von Erich is guilty of not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 counts of promoter nepotism sin. 5.
And Dynasty Sin, including creating 2 fake relatives in Waldo and Lance.
That's an amazing 7 right there.
And I'm going to tack on another one for Mr. Von Erich.
3rd generation sin?
No, because that is part of the dynasty. Dynasty doesn't mean just 2nd generation.
So that's 8. That's 8.
A bonus sin
Do it.
for Mr. Fritz. I do say bonus because the category can't 100% stand on its own, but as an aspect of the nepotism and dynasty sin, because you've really got to be close in the promoter for this one.
Do it.
Local influential businessman protection for the talent. Rick caused a damn riot that destroys a hotel, but the Crockett's would cover his ass. Again, if I need to explain to you why we are missing several Von Erichs, you clearly don't spend enough time paying attention to wrestling history.
Because Fritz made sure that his boys were tough as nails no matter what. Even if they had to drink a little bit or shoot off their own toe.
You know, it wasn't so much that he wanted them to be tough as nails as because they were, every single Von Erich was a perpetual face.
Yeah.
He could not let them have any shade, even in public, when they were off time. They had to be the Von Erich avenging angels 24/7. Even when they weren't, Fritz covered up. What was one of the classics? He was wrestling with the flu and 105-degree fever, and that's why Rick basically walked a comatose Von Erich through a world title match.
Yes, he did. You want the truth on what happened to him? It wasn't 105 fever. It was the brown bottle flu.
And let's not forget the never-ending debate of, was it organ failure or was it too many pills failure over in Japan?
The Japanese are going with option 2.
The Japanese and pretty much anybody... Crap, which Von Erich was that?
Fuck, they all run together.
Kerry
had shotgun mouthwash.
After shotgun to the... Well, no, car accident took his foot because he was the Texas Tornado. And
Yep.
only Von Erich to win gold in WWE.
It wasn't much. It was the light heavyweight, but...
No, Intercontinental.
He did win the IC? Well, okay then.
Remember, he was around in Mr. Perfect days. The light heavyweight was still bumming around Japan.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Shit, I want to say it was Kerry, Kevin, David, Chris. I think there was a Michael there.
Yeah, Kevin's alive.
Kevin's the one that survived.
And produced the spawn of Satan known as Lacey.
All right, hold on. I'm going to have to hit up Wiki for this one. Hold on.
Yes,
But
when
yeah,
in doubt, hit Wiki.
Lacey Von Erich. It's like this when the beautiful people who are legit dumbass blondes, even if they're not legit blondes, look at you and just go,
God, you're
yeah, we would have
stupid.
sitting there in the bar and just going, oh, no, it's okay, sweetie. Okay. Didn't live long enough to get into a ring, Jack Atkinson Jr., drowned in a puddle at the age of 6. Can't mess with that one too much.
No, no, no.
Kevin Von Erich, the Golden Warrior. Yeah, he's the one that survived. He's sold the world-class footage to Vince.
Do you blame him?
Still basically has a part-time job. Does a lot of the, will show up on documentaries and. Okay, David Von Erich, the Yellow Rose of Texas. Yep, David died on February 10th, 1984 in Tokyo, Japan.
Was it?
Many insist that before he died, David booked to win the world title from Ric Flair. There's nothing been concrete to substantiate the rumor, as no NWA board member has discussed it. The official doctor's report allegedly states that he died of acute enteritis, but Ric Flair stated in his biography that everyone in wrestling believes it was a drug overdose
And
that
Bruiser Brody
flushed the narcotics down the toilet. Mick Foley also claims he died of a drug overdose. Controversy partly remains because there's no death certificate or doctor's report has ever been provided by the Von Erich family. Kerry, the modern-day warrior in the Texas tornado, did commit suicide by a shot to the heart in 1993 on his father's ranch. Bret Hart said in his biography, Kerry had told him months before about his plans. Mike Von Erich. So I was right. There was a Michael.
committed suicide as well.
Yeah, he basically took David's place in the feuds. Mike had wanted to work just as a cameraman because he was the least naturally athletic.
And he died of an overdose.
Mike suffered a shoulder injury on a tour of Israel. After the surgery, it was discovered he had toxic shock syndrome. Had to retire early because he never fully recovered from that, as you're not going to.
Nope.
And committed suicide, overdosing on a tranquilizer after being very depressed about Fritz accusing him of letting the family down. Chris Von Erich
Shot himself in the head.
Over the loss of his brother Mike.
And everyone else.
Suicide by a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
18 days before his 22nd birthday. And
yep.
Yes, he blamed Fritz.
As pretty much everybody does, but yeah. So we have Kevin. We have, in the third generation, Ross and Marshall Von Erich.
And Lacey.
Ross and Marshall are the sons of Kevin. Lacey is the daughter of Kerry. And as I said, the unofficial Waldos and Lances. But yeah, a few promoters, as I said, the Crockett's with Rick, we'll cover for their favorites, but it doesn't happen often enough that I think it should be its own full-blown sin. But it's a good bonus sin for the nepotism categories.
Which, by the way, if we get
Because
the
the whole
dynasty,
point of that long wiki read, folks, is to show how much damage you can do to people when you won't let them take responsibility for
or
their
be
stupidity.
themselves, or let them be themselves. Which,
Yes.
by the way,
My,
folks, if you want a full count of how many dynasty sins that Fritz von Erich committed just before he checked out of this earth, some might say the pits of hell opened up and swallowed him down. That's up to you to debate. We're not here to debate whether or not Fritz was a horrible person or not. That's on you to look at the evidence and decide for yourself. But
as a promoter, he definitely made some major goofs.
and as a father, he made a lot of major goofs. So how many
We
dynasties?
can't blame him for Lacey's behavior. Fritz has been dead too long to go. Bitch, keep your damn tits undercover.
So it's like, how many dynasty sins has Fritz committed? To use a napalm term, tilt.
Yep.
To
Well,
use napalm's term, Fritz tilts the scale on wrestling sins.
and again, we just got into the obvious ones that everybody knows about. Um,
How many
I think
sins?
as a finale, since we have definitely hit 30 minutes with time to spare, related to promoter nepotism, promoter self-aggrandizement. Fritz himself did it for a while.
Vince.
He would make his comebacks to save his boys. And let's not forget Vern of the never-ending AWA title reigns.
And Vince McMahon.
Vince did enjoy putting himself in the main event more often than he needed to. Um,
Yes, he did. But
I don't fault him for being a like one or not even a full week. I think it was like 4 day WWE champion because he
right,
flat out said
I don't
he,
want
he
it.
he flat out said I don't deserve to hold this. Now, when he won the ECW title years later, when he was feuding with Lashley, that's a different story.
But he
That
was
one
playing
will
up the
call
character.
foul on for.
But he was playing a character, so I'll give him that. So, folks,
Only because crazy Vince sitting in the rocking chair at the edge of the ECW stage was funny as hell. With the do rag.
all right. So, how many sins did we get out on individual people, folks? I didn't keep an approximate count, but if you guessed about in the 70s, you're correct.
Yep,
So, just in those topics, who's the biggest sinner? Fritz von Erich.
true.
Fritz is the biggest sinner of them all.
Although I don't think we nailed him for the inconsistent women's division because,
He didn't
damn, I
have
don't.
one.
Yeah, I don't think he ever let women wrestle in WCCW.
Nope.
He might have. I think he had a couple female managers.
He did. Lady Blossom.
Lady Blossom was
And Woman showed up down there a few times.
towards the end of the promotion's life. Did he ever have Precious? I know she showed up in Crockett.
I don't know. Oh, hey, Dave.
Yeah.
I think we've got our next show, by the way.
Yes.
It's Mystery Wrestling Theater 3000 Wrestling Sins. World Class Championship Wrestling. The
We're just gonna
centimeter.
we're just gonna induct the promotion.
We're just going to run through one show and see how many sins are committed.
I'm gonna have to do some research before that.
Yeah.
Rewatch my DVD, reference some internet articles to clarify. It's like
Yes.
this, folks. The promotion did a lot of things right. men like Stone Cold got into the wrestling industry
Jeff
because of
Jarrett.
world class. Jeff also had his daddy. He's a dynasty sin.
Jerry's had
But
a few.
Jerry's had a few, including up in Memphis with Jerry and his son Brian Lawler. We forgot that one on the Dynasty Sin. How could we forget the Lawlers?
Alright, so everyone wants to know a schedule? This is going to be approximate. World Class Championship Wrestling, CWA, which later became USWA.
Which later became probably 2 or 3 other things. It's like this Memphis Wrestling.
That's
Easiest way to
sin.
put it. Because even Vince McMahon's lawyers can't figure out where Memphis territories begin and end, which is why he can't get all the tape on all the Memphis.
Because he's not quite sure which shell game Lawler hit it all in.
Shit, Lawler can't even remember. He'd love the extra pay. He could retire a few years sooner.
Oh, so next, okay, so we've got World Class Championship Wrestling, Memphis Wrestling, and how about wrestlers who should hang it up? Brother.
True. Maybe if we stretch these videos out, by that point we'll know if Taker's going to drag his carcass out for WrestleMania 31.
I'm almost expecting him to drag his ass out for WrestleMania 41.
I still miss the streak.
You can't argue with that one, can you?
Only because maybe by 41, Austin will get off the shit can and we'll have the Great Texas War.
Yeah. People are like, are you ever going to have a show for Austin Sins? No, we're not going to do. We're not going to do Steve Austin's sins at all because that's.
So, some of them are still being discussed in courts of law over in Texas.
Yeah.
And there's reasons he won't admit to why his podcast is done out in L.A.
Yeah, statute of limitations.
Certain counties in Texas he's not welcome in.
No. His Broken Skull Ranch is barely within those counties that he is allowed in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Steve Austin.
Again, hopefully soon, folks, we will get back to classic MWT3K. Maybe if I can get Rich to start investing in some piracy, we can induct one I've been needling him for a while. The original TNA Hardcore Justice, a.k.a. We Won't Let ECW Die. You mentioned EV 2.0 earlier.
Yes, no, I gotta find a...
Or the other name for that pay-per-view. One Night in November to Remember. Because we won't let you forget. The reunion of the reunion of the reunion tour of the reunion show.
Easy watching Suicide Light. Alright, that's it for the Mystery Wrestling Theater 3000 Wrestling Sins sideshow. If you completely hate it, don't worry, it gets worse. Wait until we actually crack into a specific show. So yeah, we've got World Class Championship Wrestling, we've got Memphis Wrestling.
Hell, wait till we get Doobie Downer on here.
Hell, and start talking about Jerry Lawler. Did I say Jerry Lawler? We're not going to sacrifice the sacred cow, are we? Yeah, we are. Which other person is on the sacred cow roast for today? Don't worry, kids. You'll find out.
I fear not the wrath of the king, for I carry the spirit of Andy Kaufman with me.
And I'm above the age of 13.
because I'm the king. Oh, I'm the king. Oh, I'm the king of Memphis, Tennessee. I knocked that Lala out last week, and I'll do it again.
Yeah, that's the
God bless
show,
Andy.
folks. You know what? Let's go out on that one because I'm the king. I'm the king. I'm the king of Memphis,
And God
Tennessee.
bless Andy.
Dun, 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 dun.